Alright, what is up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be doing another game analysis style video. I haven't done one of those in a while. And this one is from over in the East. I think this is technically the OP06.5 meta, because we do have black-yellow Luffy versus blue-black Sakazuki. So, of course, when I saw this, I had to cover this. You know, this is one of those, I'm going to get it going. We've got on 2x speed. We've got the volume down. This was a match that I had to cover because black-yellow is one of my absolute favorite color combinations. And, yeah, all that good stuff. And let me pause real quick. So this did happen. Even though it says 2023 for the little championship thing up here, this was streamed 14 hours ago at the time of me recording this video. So this is definitely in 2024. I think they just haven't updated their little logo yet. All right, we got to upvote this, of course. All right, so let's get back into it. The Luffy went first, just, you know, Dawn Pass. Sakazuki's going to get the perfect start with a brand new. And it looks like he's got a really nice choice here between Suru, 2K counter, Houndblaze, and Borsalino. And he goes with the Borsalino, which is interesting because I do think that Sakazuki has a very favorable matchup into black-yellow Luffy, because bottom decking his 5-cost characters like Ace, Luffy, and Sabo is very, very dangerous. Okay, so he does just swing in. Luffy takes it gladly and plays out the Borsalino. Swing 5, blocks with Borsalino, pays 5, gets down the Sabo. And this is what I was saying, like, this is where I think Houndblaze would actually be very nice, because you can just, you know, like I said, just remove this Sabo. And if he goes to the trash, that's actually not good enough, because then Luffy can continue to recycle that card. And not to mention, when Sabo goes into play, he can't be KO'd by effects, right? So here goes a top 5 search for the new 1-cost TCG from OP06. This is a new 1-cost blue top 5 Navy searcher. And it is Tashigi, so it cannot grab Tashigi the 3-cost, which is why you won't see that in many Navy lists in the future because of that. At least blue-black Navy lists. Okay, because they share the same name, for those who don't know. And that's typically how all searchers are. You know, if it's a searcher, it can look up anything but something with its own name. Unless certain cards can, especially in the green card pool where it costs extra Dawn to search. But in most cases, it can. A searcher can never grab a card of its own name. Okay, so that even means the 3-cost 2K counter Tashigi, unfortunately. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. It looks like Sakazuki is going to play out another searcher, another top 5 search. And, you know, the blue-black Sakazuki deck was already strong back in OP05, what we're still in the West. But once he got the second searcher, the consistency level went up even higher. It didn't necessarily get much better cards, like stronger cards, but it got more consistent options now. Okay, so he's going to swing for, I think it was 5, or actually, it was 7 with brand new, because he did Houndblaze. He was able to Houndblaze the Sabo off the board. Now, luckily, this guy has 2 extra Sabos in hand. You know, that is nice. And it looks like he's got a lot of interesting cards here from ST-13. Imperial Ivankov, that will trash a card from your life. You can play a card from your hand, so you can set your top life card, just like he just did, getting the Sabo. Let me pause real quick. So, guys, this card right here, for those who don't know, I'm just going to do a quick summary of what it does. This is a 2-cost character, 2K counter, 2,000 power with a 1K counter. There's a Sabo, an Ace, and a Luffy, and you can trash this card. And then if the top card of your life is a Sabo, Ace, or Luffy, whichever one you have, it will put it into play and give your leader plus 2,000 power for the turn. Okay, and this obviously goes perfectly with the black-yellow Luffy, because his leader effect is attached to activate main, trash a card, and gain 2 life face up. Okay, and by the way, face-up cards do not go to your trash from your life. Like, face-up life cards don't go to your trash, they go to the bottom of your deck. But you can still play them with effects like this from your life. Okay, sorry if that was confusing. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask down in the comment section below. So he played out the Sabo from this effect. Okay, let me pause. He played out the Sabo. That's what the draw 2 trash to is from. Both of these blockers now cannot be KO'd until the next turn. He's attaching 2 Dawn to his leader. He's going to trash a card from his hand and get 2 cards into his life from his trash or his hand. He can choose. But it has to be a 5-cost character specifically. It cannot be a 5 or less or a 5 or more. It has to be exactly 5 cost. Okay, and this is why blue-black Sakazuki is actually very strong against black-yellow Luffy, because bottom decking the cards just gets him out of there. Okay, swings for 7, and I think he took it. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm pretty sure he took it. And now he does have 2 blockers. His leader's at 7,000 power. Luffy's in a very comfortable spot here. But, you know, it looks like there's a Gecko Moria in the Sakazuki player's hand. That's going to present many shenanigans in the future, I'm sure. Actually, it really depends how the game goes, right? But I believe this is his 7 Dawn turn, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. He gets another Gecko Moria from that Helmeppo cycle. So attack, -1. I'm sure this is going to be to Sabo. If I had to guess, this is -1 to Sabo, and then just Borsalino it off the... Yeah. So there it goes. So even though it could not be KO'd, it got bottom decked because of the 7-cost AK Borsalino. So it's gone now, and that is one more card that this Luffy player cannot use in his trash to start getting recurring value like you need to get with Gecko. Oh, and look, he just got his own Gecko Moria. Well, again, that's one less card that he's going to have access to in his trash. Now, Gecko Moria can only get a 4-cost and a 2-cost back, or let me be more specific, a 4-cost or less, or a 2-cost or less back from your trash. So it can't get these 5-cost cards anyway. But here's the thing: you get the 2-cost cards back, and then you can interact with your leader to get the 5-cost cards back and combo that way. Hopefully that made sense. I know it's very confusing, but we'll see if he does it this turn. So he paid 1 for the top 5 searcher. It's an event searcher for Ace, Sabo, and Luffy. And then he's going to play out an Ace. So that was the 2... Excuse me. So he played out the 2... He got a Sabo from the search, I believe. Played out the 2-cost Ace. And used the 2-cost Ace to sacrifice itself to get the 5-cost from his life into play. And this is a 5-cost 7k with haste, by the way. Or with rush, excuse me. And then that makes his Luffy +2 for the turn. Or +2 until his next turn. And then he hard casts out a Sabo for 5. Draw 2, trash 2, and swing for 8 at life. So let's see what happens here. He might just take it, or he could block out with the Borsalino. I don't think he has enough counter power in hand to do this realistically. Okay, and he does get out a... he does take life, and it's an Ice Age. Draws for the turn, gets a Borsalino here. This is a Sakazuki with a full board. Now, yes, it does help that the Luffy can continuously get up to 7k life, or 7,000 power for his character, or for his leader, excuse me. But at the same time, he does need to start either dealing with this board or starting to present lethal in some way. The Sakazuki player has another Borsalino to bottom deck a card, and he has the new 2-cost event that can bottom deck 2 cards. It's basically a 2-cost Rob Lucci effect that bottom decks. It's an event instead of a character. Okay, so gets rid of the Sabo with the Borsalino. Has 2 Dawn left. Let's see what he does with it. He's going to -5 to the Ace, and then he's going to use that effect to only hit the Ace. He was not able to get the Ivankov as well. This is a 3-cost, 4,000 power counter, or 3,000 cost, 4,000 power, 1k counter blocker Ivankov. And that he just blocks with. Okay, it did its job, because he doesn't want to lose... He does not want to lose this Sabo that he has on top of his life, because remember, per this leader's effect, or for those who don't know, it will not let him draw the card from his life if it's face up. It would go to the bottom of his deck instead. So he's going to play out an 8-cost Gecko Moria. So this is what makes the deck, this is what gives the deck, like, power, however you want to say that. You can play out a 4-cost or less and a 2-cost or less from your trash into play, and it only costs 8. Well, your Luffy's leader effect only costs 2. So you're still going to be able to combo all that together. But it looks like he was only able to grab an Ivankov and a Sabo. So I guess he's going to choose not to activate the Ivankov's on play effect, and then he's going to activate the Sabo to play out the Sabo. Now his leader's at 9k right now, because it's +2 and then +2 more. And he's going to use the leader's effect. And look at this. Because the Sakazuki player has been bottom decking the 5-cost characters from the Luffy, well, guess what? Instead of gaining 2 life, like he would have liked to have done, he was only able to gain 1. So that is why, like I said, I think it's a pretty hard counter Sakazuki is against black-yellow Luffy. And generally speaking, I've noticed that most blue decks can counter yellow Or well, I don't know. I shouldn't say that. That's how it felt when I was playing Black Yellow Linlin. I felt like any deck with blue in it was just a hard counter. But that probably depends. It all depends on how you build the deck, of course. Okay, so he does a cycle here with brand new. Gets a Sakazuki does and gets a Great Eruption. And he's staring down a pretty menacing board and a 7,000 power leader. But he has two. Yeah, I was gonna say he's gonna have two 9K attacks coming in here for just a 1 Dawn investment for each. So swing 9, yep, uses the blocker here. Swing 9 more. Just 2 Dawn investment gets two pretty strong effects out of, or two pretty strong reactions out of the Black Yellow Luffy player. And if he loses this last life, he just has no way of, wow. So, and he's down to 2 cards in hand. I'll say he'll have no way of getting cards out of his trash with this leader's effect because they've all been bottom decked. Okay. Plays out Gecko Moria. Gets down to Rebecca. Sorry, guys, I didn't see everything that happened there. But now he's going to go top 5 search with this new event. Get out a 5-cost Luffy. Plays down a Gart, which is a top 5 search as well. So there's 2 top 5 searches. Oh, and it's a whiff, unfortunately. It can grab an Ace, a Sabo, or a Luffy. Swing for 9. Gets met with a blocker. Swing for 7. He has another blocker here. Let's see what happens. Oh, wow. 2K, 1K out and smash in for every... Okay, so he's basically conceded at this point. The game is over. Sakazuki's going to swing all out here. Swing 9 at life. Swing 9. And, oh, that's game. Okay, so again, the thing that makes Black Yellow Luffy strong is getting this card, Sabo, and the ace that we saw, that let me just go back to where the board state was a little better. Here we go. So there are really strong 5-cost Sabos, 5-cost Ace, 5-cost Luffys that you can put in these ST-13 decks that could just make them very powerful. Well, in Black Yellow Luffy, if they get bottom decked, then you can't use your leader's effect with them anymore because the leader effect says trash a card from your hand and then get 2 5-cost characters from your hand or trash. See, your hand or trash. And put them face up at the top of your life in whatever order you arrange them. So once these things are gone, just bottom decked, you run out of your recurring value. And that's what this deck is meant to do. It's supposed to recur the value of your aces, your Sabos, your Luffys, and also with your little 2-cost guys, you can get those back with your Gecko Morias. But it didn't pan out. And like I said, guys, I don't think they've come out with a perfectly good deck for Black Yellow Luffy yet. I will be keeping my eyes peeled for something like that. It is a leader I want to play with, but I'm going to be honest. I've mentioned this before. I don't think anyone agrees with me, and that's fine. I still hold Black Yellow Linlin as stronger than Black Yellow Luffy. And here's the thing, Black Yellow Luffy, a lot of people were playing in turn. I'm sure there were quite a few people that came to the tournament with Black Yellow Luffy, trying something new, trying to play it, because Luffy's like a more beloved character, right? Whereas like Black Yellow Linlin, I don't think ever saw any participation whatsoever. And I do understand that the leader effect is very it's a steep cost of 4. But guys, I mean, think about it. You are gaining a life, right? That's not a small matter, and you're also swinging 7,000 in the process. So I mean, and you have access to your Linlin, the 10-cost Linlin. So I don't know. I personally, again, I don't know why, but I just feel like Black Yellow Linlin is stronger. And think about it from my perspective, guys. I would love for Black Yellow Luffy to be stronger. And who knows, it might be. I'm going to do playtesting with both. I have no reason to defend Black Yellow Linlin because they both run the same colors. They both run the same exact colors. But guess what? Black Yellow Linlin has access to the 10-cost Linlin and also has access to, well, I don't want to say they both have access to all black and yellow cards. But Linlin, like in this situation right here, Linlin could have just gained a life, right? It wouldn't have to like do all these crazy combos just to hopefully get the life and stuff going, just to gain more life. It could just gain you the life period and move on with the turn while swinging for 7K. And last but not least, we know Sakazuki's probably not going anywhere anytime soon. Well, bad news. If Sakazuki is like, a hard counter to what you're doing with the graveyard interactions, well, like I said, bad news. It's going to be a hard counter. But we'll have to see. Again, who knows? They might not have got the best of, the Luffy player might have not gotten a very good pull It looked okay to me, but you never know what a normal pool might look like with these decks because they're pretty new. You know, I have been seeing some of the stuff pop up over in the East. I have seen quite a few games, and I've seen good games with Luffy, and I've seen bad ones. So we'll just have to see what kind of consistency it has. But this is definitely a good sign, right? This is for the black-yellow players, black-yellow Luffy in particular players. This is a very good sign that in the very first tournament that has come out since its release of ST-13, the Three Brothers Bond set, here it is in the top 8. I think it was either, like I said, I can't remember if this was the top 8 or the top 16. And if anyone knows, by all means, comment in the comment section below. But, yeah, this is a good sign. Very good sign. Right, guys, I'm done rambling. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to put them in the section below. If I missed anything, y'all help me out. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.